and welcome to Saturday Night Crafting. Tonight we are going to be making our own background paper and we're going to have loads of fun. Our primary focus is going to be using fun foam. Fun foam is nice and cheap. You can get it at any dollar store, pound shop, craft stores. They all kind of sell it. The stuff I've got tonight is self-adhesive fun foam, so one side has a double-sided sticky layer on it. If you have not got that, then you can just use double-sided tape. Really easy, just apply it on the back, run it down in strips, and it works the same way. If you have not got double-sided tape or you're very cautious about using it, you can use a removable adhesive as well. That will also work. I'm going to share with you at the end how you remove it all, so don't get stressed out when you see me sticking them onto my stamp blocks. I'm going to share with you how you get it off really easy and really simply. So my stamp set tonight is this Catherine Pooler coffee set. I absolutely love it. I'll link it down below for you if you want to check it out. It also has coordinating dies, which I also purchased, but I'm going to share with you how you can do this if you only have a stamp. So don't panic, don't worry. I've got lots of tips and tricks along the way so that hopefully everyone that has got any kind of stamp, you can kind of do this trick and technique as well. Now I have got rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, if you're in the UK, will work, but also hand sanitizer will also work. So grab some of that to hand as well, and I'll share with you why at the end. So I'm picking out this little cupcake. I've not used this one yet. I'm really excited to use it. And I'm going to use my Onyx Black Ink Pad. This is the best black ink pad. If you're looking for a good one, I can highly recommend this one. This is the only one I use. It's the only one I've used for about 4 or 5 years now. It is just the best, most deepest, blackest black ink pad. It's fantastic. So getting started, we are going to just simply stamp our stamp across our cardstock. Now I'm going to use a bigger sheet of cardstock than what I'm going to use on my card. So I want to do some A6 cards, and so I'm going to use an A5 sheet of cardstock that I can then cut down. So that top line is nice and perfect and straight along the top, as straight as I can get it anyways. And then the rest I'm kind of offsetting. So my second line, I start in the middle of the top two ones, and then I kind of just repeat that pattern going all the way down the paper, and I go off the edge and I go off the bottom. And when I go and trim it down at the very end, it all looks nice and sort of flowy because I trim that top end off. So it's not so perfect along that top edge, but I'm using that edge so I can make sure everything gets nice and straight. Now we are going to take our coordinating dies and we're going to die cut out the coordinating die out of the fun foam. But be careful with this bit. You've got to flip your fun foam over. If you have adhesive on your fun foam, make sure you are cutting it from the back. So you want to cut from that back side where it's got the paper on it, the release sheet, because otherwise when you go to stamp, your image will be the wrong way around. And I did this twice, so I'm going from experience here. Now what I was doing there was just checking that there were no bumps and divots and stuff in my fun foam, because sometimes they come with little air pocket holes on them and they're a little bit bumpy. So I was trying to make sure that my die lined up in a nice bit of that fun foam so I get a nice smooth clear image when I stamp with it. Fun foam is amazing for stamping with. It holds your ink really well. It keeps it really juicy. It's just such a fun product to have in your craft room. I have a couple other videos where I've used the fun foam. If I can find them, I'll put them in the description box for you. Now all I'm doing is cutting them out 3 times because I want to use 3 different inks and I don't want to have to switch between the colors on my fun foam. Because they absorb the ink so nicely and keep it so juicy, it's kind of a pain to wipe them and clean them in between colors. So I just do 3 different colors, and I've got so many stamp blocks, it doesn't affect me. But you could do 1 stamp block and 1 piece of fun foam and you'll just have to clean it in between colors. So I ink up my fun foam and I just start stamping down. This is so dead easy because these dies fit the stamps really nicely. So they just stamp right over top and it's dead easy to line up even though that fun foam is not see-through. You can see there that the image is the same size as my fun foam, so it's nice and quick and simple to put down. Now I'm going for random splashes of color all over. I'm not thinking too much about it. I just don't want to have 2 pinks right next to each other. And that's kind of all I'm going for. Now when doing this, you can either fill the whole sheet, stamp all those little cupcakes, or you can go for a sort of more spread out one and keep some of that white. I couldn't work out which one I liked more, whether I liked the white mixed in with the colors or whether I liked the full sheet of color done. So here's my coffee cup ones that I did earlier. I've got that white in there, but then on the left you can see I've filled all of them in. I can't work out which I like more. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. I did both of them and I used both of them because I really liked it. I also found my leaves, stamps and matching dies from Catherine Pooler as well, which I picked up when I picked up the coffee set, so I had to go with those and loved how those turned out. That's kind of like I could do a really nice garden-y birthday card with those. Now here I switched up the colors and I went for pink, purple and grey and filled it in solidly with the cupcakes, so you can see the two differences in looks. It's whatever you personally prefer. They both look great, I think. It's quite fun. So now if you have not got the matching dies, you've got a stamp set, maybe you were given a stamp set and you're just starting out, maybe you've got some stamps that you love but they don't come with coordinating dies, you can use a different shape. So you could, if you don't have dies, you don't even own a die cutting machine, you could use a hole punch if you've got circular punches or another shape, or simply go with this simple bog standard thing of tracing something circular onto your fun foam and cutting it out. So really easy. If you do not have dies, you can still do this technique and make it work. So I'm going to use my fun foam and cut it in a circle. I got out my hexagons as well, but I thought the circles looked better. They kind of covered more of my image for me. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. I'm going to create my beautiful background with my stamps. And I love these stamps because they're really detailed, but I have zero patience for coloring in. I just don't care to do it. Really bugs me. So this technique for me gets that beautiful splash of color with very minimal coloring effort, which I really like. So again, I've taken my 3 blocks. I've put some circles on. I've got 3 circles so I can do 3 colors. I'm going to stick with the same colors and go with that. Now, what I did here was I picked my favorite colors. This is what I like to do. In order for me to love a project, sometimes I just need to pick the colors I love. So you will see teal and probably like a magenta color in almost everything I do if I'm picking my favorite colors, because I love those colors. And again, all I'm doing is just applying that color onto my background sheet. And yeah, it's not the shape of the cup, but I still think it looks really good. You get the same effect. You get that bright, bold, colorful, beautiful effect. So you can see here the 2 side by side. When that purple dries, it dries a lot lighter. Those are obviously very fresh. And here we go. We've got the one I just did on the left, and then I did another one full coverage on the right. It's the same kind of effect. You get this gorgeous background look. So you do not have to have the solid die cut that matches your stamp. You can make do with another random shape and roll with that. So here are all the patterns I did, and now I'm going to share with you how we're going to get this off. By the time you've done stamping and sticking your ink on, it kind of presses that fun foam into your block and it gets a bit messy, a bit sticky and hard to get off. The first thing I do is grab a glove. You can do this barehanded, but I find I get so much ink everywhere all over my fingers because that ink really sticks in the fun foam really nicely. So I'm going to pull it all off with my gloves. The other thing is, because I'm using the rubbing alcohol, it can kind of dry out your skin quite a lot, as we all know from using our hand sanitizer over the past few years. It's a very drying material to work with. So you don't need a glove, but I like a glove. It keeps my hand clean and it keeps my hand from drying out. All I do is scrape off as much of that foam as I can. I've got a palette knife there. I've just used it to scrape it off. It's plastic so it doesn't scratch my blocks. Then I leave it sit for about 5 minutes. 10 if you want super uber extra easy. Then I can take my palette knife and I'm just gently rubbing and it's just coming straight off. The more foam you have stuck to the block, the harder it is for it to kind of soak in. So that first one takes me a little bit longer. By the time I get to the last one, that one on the far left is completely covered in adhesive. The adhesive is all over it. It's hard to see in the video, but it is got a solid, pure blob of adhesive on there. But because I've left it to soak for about 5 minutes, I just scraped it off in about 2 seconds. And that's all you need to do. You just scrape it off, put those bits in the bin, and then you've got your blocks right back to normal. So really easy way to take off that adhesive if you are stuck with that sticking on there. Now, because we made all the effort in the background, we are going to follow the KISS method. We're going to keep it simple. We are going to do a nice little background for our card and do a really nice simple topper on it so that we're not spending heaps of time getting too ingrained into the design of the card and getting too stressed out trying to make it all perfect. That way we can make something out of all of our backgrounds and have gorgeous cards that we can give away. So I'm trimming down my cards so that I have my card base, which is standard A6. I'm going to have a top layer which is 0.5 millimeter on each end, the top and the side, for the next layer, and then that top layer, which is my decorative paper layer, is going to be again half or 5 millimeters, I should say, half a centimeter or 5 millimeters smaller than that first layer. I hope that made sense. I often think I'm confusing the daylights out of everyone. I want to blend my card together, so I am going to take my ink pad on some of them and drag it across all those edges so I get this gorgeous background that makes it look like I had matching cardstock with my ink pad, but I've just used my ink pad again. And then on the ones with the white, I really like the look of just keeping it as a white background. So there is a layer of white there, so I've got the white on white with my colored panel on the top. So you can pick and choose what you like the look of, whether you want to do a colored background or not, or whether you want to keep it white and have it just kind of blend with the white that's already in the card. So on that bottom one there on the right, I popped it up with some foam. It's really hard to see, but I popped that white layer up with foam. The one on the left here has got some holographic card. I'll link down a really awesome shop in the UK who I think does ship worldwide. They've got gorgeous holographic card and it's really good value for money. So here's my finished cards. The one on the right, I have gone ahead and colored my die cut as well. I'll link those dies down below. They are such a gorgeous nesting die set. I meant to share them in the video with you, but I love them. They're perfect for layering and backing up things. And again, all I did was I just colored it using my ink pad once I die cut it out. Then I've got 2 pieces of ribbon that I stuck behind my little embellishment and just popped it up on there. And with that one on the left, I used that holographic card again to kind of blend it with that little panel in the background. So really simple, but a quick and easy way to finish those cards. So I hope you had fun with me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again this week. Take care. Bye.